Hey y'all, good morning. Or should I say almost good afternoon for some of us. Um, I've taken some time to play catch up, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get into these country Wayne skits. I do love the fact that Ernestine and them were up there in the mountains and she was talking about how being up there helps her to reflect and helps her to just sit and think. I think we all need to do that. That's why I went to Vegas. Sometimes you just gotta take a weekend and just go somewhere where you can just be. Sometimes you got to distance yourself from the world because I was looking at Geminis, right? For example. And being that I'm a Gemini, we have this tendency to, there are times we just want to be by ourselves. And that's because we want to try to not be influenced by other people's thoughts and other people's feelings on things, but just to find our own way. And sometimes you got to find your own way, and nobody can be on that journey with you. Every person in the Bible had 40 days where they were just one with God. And I realized that I got to put my phone down for 40 days. And I just got to be sitting down reading the Bible, and that's just about it. If I break down crying, please forgive me. But I've been doing that for 7 years where I've just taken time just to be by myself because I needed a peace of mind. Now, mind you, while I've been doing this, I've been also creating these new looks and these new things and this new version of myself that I'm becoming. But I had to heal, not just mentally, not just physically, not just emotionally, not just spiritually, not just eternally and externally, physically, but also my financial and, relationship issues. I had to take some time for it just to be me, which was the reason I had moved, was because of the fact that I just needed space from everybody. And I love where I am. I love being where I'm at, and I enjoy it. But I need to be able to get out and really enjoy it like I should. But today is going to be outside getting some fresh air because I'm going to wash clothes today. But I understand where Ernestine is coming from because sometimes you just need a break from everything. Sometimes you got to stop chasing after things and let whatever's meant to be just happen. And stop letting other people stop your blessings or take your blessings or steal your blessings and things like that. Sometimes you need to be by yourself for a while to see what you can accomplish. Sometimes you don't need to say nothing to nobody about what you got going on. You just do it. I've been watching a lot of these African skits, which I wish Wayne and them would look at, and they'll understand what a true storytelling looks like. These people don't know how to tell stories, and they don't. But I love the fact of seeing Ernestine out there. But the question is, Ernestine, are you going to take what you learned out there in the Grand Canyon with you when you go back? Because when I came back to Vegas, I was like, you know what? I'm going to start getting out. I'm going to start going to Tampa. I made a whole list of places that I want to go when I go to Tampa. I got a whole list of places I want to go to when I go to Fort Lauderdale and Miami and, Key West and all these little places that I've seen, Orlando. But I got to get myself in a place where I'm ready for that. And I'm ready to get back out there in the world. I'm ready to meet people now because I've taken the space and the time. And even though it was 7 years, it was worth it because being by myself, I got to figure out what works for me. Just like today, I saw some juicing things that I want to try. I got to get some ginger and stuff like that. So I'm going to start juicing. And this weekend, I'm going home for a few weeks with my family. So that's going to be my big test of going out, my big test of driving. So the goal is while I'm there with my mom, I'm going to be trying to drive and trying to get back to driving, get in the car and just driving. If I can do it and actually drive there, then I can drive here when I come back here. So what I will say is, you know, sometimes you need to move out of your environment. Sometimes you need to get away from the things that are causing you pain, the people that are messing with your self esteem, self worth, self values, your self respect, your confidence, and what you believe in, the people that's shooting down your dreams, the people that's throwing in your face what you did 20, 30 years ago. You know, and I just feel like that the reason you see me the way I am is because I'm in a period of just being me, being by myself. But you will see me out and about. You will see me traveling more. You will see me going on weekend vacations. You will see me just going somewhere for the weekend. You might see me out at a restaurant, and you'll see me because I got a whole closet full of clothes that I haven't worn yet. So, like I said, sometimes you need to take that nakedness of just being naked. And being naked doesn't mean just literally being naked. It just means you don't dress up. You just in your comfort cocoon stage clothes that I like to call it, and you're just comfortable. It's just like my apartment is coming together today. I'm gonna 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go wash clothes, come back, and then tomorrow I'm going to start getting all of this stuff together as far as arranging everything where I want it to be, and then I'm gonna put some pictures up and things like that. But am I ready to buy a home? Absolutely, I'm ready to buy a home, but I don't know where I'm gonna buy a house at. And that's something I gotta get my homegirl's sister about as far as, being able to find a home and find a place, and where am I gonna call home? And that's the question. And sometimes it shouldn't be until later that you want to find a place to call home. So I don't think buying a house in your 20s is a good idea because that may not be where you decide to become home. I would say probably around 35, 40, you should be buying your first home. Because that way you know where you want to come, when you want to call home, and you can actually just pay for it outright versus paying for it and paying monthly payments. So, like I said, it's just one of them things where, you know, for some people, they didn't do it when they were younger, but they're now doing it when they're older. So I do commend Wayne and them for incorporating that. And we do need to see more of that, more trips where they're more spiritual trips, and we see them coming back and applying these trips. But Ernestine, when you go back, you might want to go ahead and get rid of James. Let James go. Let James have Melissa. Because Mike and Melissa ain't gonna work out. And Mike is still jealous about Sonny. And the fact that his homeboy is trying to go after Sonny. So it would be crazy that Melissa ends up going back to James, and then Sonny ends up with that guy, and Mike ends up with nobody. That would be insane, because at the end of the day, I really believe that James is starting to understand that this time, if he go back to Melissa, he gonna have to treat her better. So I think I think this situation with Trey and Ernestine is gonna break James and make James understand this is just his karma for everything he did to Melissa. This is his karma. So if he goes back to Melissa and takes Melissa back, or she take him back, or whatever the case may be, it will be because of the fact they're now two different people. So now you're going to see James being a different person, Melissa being a different person, because, like I said, James and Melissa are meant for each other, because both of them, like I said, are just tragic. And like I said, I think Melissa going to learn from Mike, because the fact of the matter that she's realizing she can do better, but she need to get away from her mom and them. She need to get away from her mom and them, because her mom and them going to keep her down. But speaking of that, as far as, her being upset about Mike, I absolutely agree. Because if Mike would have never said anything from a Momo would be playing his face. Now, Ralphie, I would give her a chance to tell you. But you and D need to have another conversation, because D, you need to be honest. You had one thing to do. Tell him the truth. And you didn't. You did not tell that man the truth. And that's why he keeps giving that girl money. Like I said, Ralphie, you know better. You got a son. Why are you giving this girl money when you got a whole baby mama that needs money for your son? Bruh, I understand you want to help people, but sometimes it ain't meant for you to help everybody. People will prey on that. And like I said, nowadays, even as godly people, we got to protect ourselves. And there are times we just have to say no. Because at the end of the day, you don't know where that money's going, or you pay it outright. Meaning you get the bill and you go pay it. Don't just take their word for it. Take the bill yourself and you go pay it. Go over there yourself and verify. Because nowadays you got to verify that people really do need help. And that's just how I look at this situation. But Part two is coming up.